Hello students, my name is Akshay Desai. I welcome you all. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. And can you see my screen? Yes, okay. So let's proceed. So today we are going to start with a new chapter which is called mensuration. So many of you must have heard this word mensuration for the first time, is it? Yes. So let's see what is the meaning of this word. Even if you Google it now, you will find its meaning as measurement. Okay. So the question is what you are actually going to measure in this chapter. Okay. So I'll give you a basic introduction. We have already studied in geometry some standard 2D objects as well as some 3D objects. What do you mean by 2D objects? Can anyone tell me the examples? Right? 2D objects are nothing but different polygons like triangle, rectangle, square, all types of quadrilaterals, and even a circle is a 2D object. Okay. And in the previous chapter itself, we have studied 3D objects, which are also called as solids. Can anyone tell me the examples? Yes, you're right. Cube, cuboid, then cylinder, prism, pyramid, and one more thing is there, that is cone. Okay. And cylinder is also there, sphere is also there. So now what quantity we will measure for these different solids and two-dimensional objects? Like in physics, we measure different quantities, like physical quantities like mass, density. But here we will be measuring three basic quantities, and they are, the first one is perimeter. Okay. The second one is area. And the third quantity is volume. Okay. But whenever we have a two-dimensional object, we will be having perimeter and area. And for three-dimensional object, we will be having area and volume. That means we will not find perimeter for three-dimensional object, but it is because it is not applicable. So let's see, what do you mean by perimeter? What do you mean by area? And what do you mean by volume? So let's take a practical example. Suppose I say a farmer is there having a farmland of some shape like this. Now, suppose that farmer wants to do a fencing of this farmland in order to protect from the wild animals. So first of all, what he will need? Obviously, he will need fencing cable to fence the boundary. And in order to get the quantity of how much fencing cable, okay, so obviously that will be measured, that quantity will be measured in length. So for that, what the farmer will do, he will measure the boundary length, means what is the boundary of his entire field. So he'll measure all the sides and he'll add them to get the total boundary length. He's not going to measure the space occupied by his farm, because he's not going to do the fencing in middle. He is going to do the fencing only around the boundary. So the perimeter is nothing but the boundary length. Okay. But suppose his field is of circular or some curve shape, that in that case, there will be no addition of sides, means the sides are not applicable there. So there, the boundary will be nothing but the circumference of a circle. So perimeter will be also called as circumference in case of circle. Okay. So now the next question is, what do you mean by area? Suppose if you have renovation activity going at your home, the one of the activity there is painting. Okay. So if you ask the contractor what are the charges of painting, so what he'll do, he'll first take all the measurements of your walls and then ceiling, means wherever he is going to apply the paint. Okay. So obviously the walls are of which shape, rectangle or square. So we'll find the area means now he'll not just measure the boundary, he will first measure the region or the space occupied by that entire wall. He'll add all such areas, and then he'll be having some fixed rate of painting. That means rupees, some x rupees per meter square. Now what do you mean by the word per meter square? Okay, so per meter square means if he asked to paint a small square of 1 meter side, then the applicable rate for painting this much space is x rupees. So obviously, how much total area he has to paint, so what he'll do, total area multiplied by his rate, he'll give you the quotation accordingly. So first he'll find the total area, means how much area he need to paint, and he will multiply by a rate of painting, that means per meter square, to give you the exact amount. Okay, so that is the second application where we will find area. Now the third application is volume, and as I said earlier, volume is applicable only for 3D objects. Now for example, the practical example, if you see a water storage tank at your home, mostly it is of this shape, which is nothing but a cuboid. So it will have length, breadth, and height. Okay. So what do you mean by volume of this tank? That is nothing but the water storage capacity, how much water it can occupy. So for that, I need to find volume of this tank. So usually when you go to purchase a tank, they will tell you the capacity as 500 liters, 1000 liters. But in this chapter, we are not going to find the volume in liter. It will be in meter cube. We will see it later on. One more example, if you see a big storage tank which is at the terrace of your building, it is mostly of cylindrical shape. Okay, so in that case, again, it is a 3D object, cylinder, and in that case, we need to find the volume of cylinder. Okay, that means the total space occupied by this three-dimensional object. So as I said, perimeter and area are applicable for two-dimensional objects. Perimeter is not applicable for three-dimensional objects. So for three-dimensional objects, we'll be finding only area and volume. But for a three-dimensional object, when I say area, it is not just area of one surface, because if you see this cuboidal tank, it has got 6 different faces. So we will be calling this as total surface area, all 6 faces. And here, in case of a cylinder, we have 2 circles, one at the bottom, one at the top, and remaining area is curved surface. So here also we will call it as a surface area. So I hope you have got the idea what actually we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, so let's continue now. Okay, so we'll be starting with the first two-dimensional object, which we know as a triangle. We have already studied triangle. So triangle has got 3 sides and 3 angles. So first we'll see how to write the area of triangle. So for that, I want you to do one activity, which is finding the height and base. So obviously, the base can be any 3 of the sides, any of the 3 sides. Here, the 3 sides are AB, BC, and AC. So suppose if I first consider side BC as the base, then how will you find the height? You know, we need to do one geometric construction if it's not given directly. Obviously, here, what we need to do from the remaining vertex, which is A, we will drop a perpendicular. You must have done this construction in geometry by, means that is dropping a perpendicular from a point outside the line segment. So the AD is that perpendicular, and that will give me the height. So the first pair is height AD and base as BC. But suppose if I consider AC, the second side of the triangle, as the base, then corresponding height will change. That means from point B, I'll drop a perpendiculars, and that perpendicular is BE, that will become height. So B corresponding to this height, the base is AC. And similarly, the third remaining side is AB, that will become the base. And for that, the corresponding height will be dropping perpendicular from point C, which is CF. So CF is the third height, and corresponding base is AB. Okay, so why we are finding the heights and bases? Because the area of triangle, means this blue region, it is the space occupied. So area is nothing but the space occupied by this closed figure, which is a triangle. So area of a triangle is given by the formula half into base into height. So here, can anyone tell me how many formula we can write here? Yes, related to each pair here of base and height, we can have 3 different formulas corresponding to 3 different bases and 3 different heights. But now, depending on the question, which base is given and which height is given, we will apply only one formula. Okay, one formula out of this 3. Now, let's continue. So I hope area of triangle, is it clear? You can write down this. Area of triangle is equal to half into base into height. No need to draw the diagram. You can just write down the formula. Okay. Now let's proceed with the next quantity, which is called perimeter. And as I already told, perimeter is nothing but the boundary length. So here the boundary length are nothing but the three sides of the triangle. So we will add the three sides. So you can directly write the formula of perimeter of a triangle is nothing but sum of all sides. And same formula is applicable for any polygon. Any polygon means for a square, rectangle, it is sum of all sides. But for a circle, it is not sum of all sides because circle has got no sides. So there we call perimeter as circumference. That we are going to learn it later on. Okay, so I hope you are clear about the two formula of triangle. So here, which three sides you will add? What will be the actual formula? It will be length of AB, length of BC, and length of AC. Adding all three sides, you will get the perimeter of triangle. Okay, now let's move to the next figure, two-dimensional object, which is square. So we know, we have already studied square. Square is having all four sides equal as well as all four angles are equal. Okay, so we are having this single line on each side. That means all four sides are equal. Now, the first formula is for perimeter, as it is the boundary length. Okay, that means we'll be adding four sides, but each side is equal. So adding four equal sides is nothing but four times each side. So perimeter of square, instead of adding four sides separately, we can simplify this formula as 4 into side. Okay, because each side is equal. So perimeter of square is not just sum of all sides. We will use different formula, which is 4 into side. And then again the area means the space occupied, this region, colored region. Here the area of square is nothing but side multiplied by side. Okay, that means it will be side square. So perimeter, we added sides 4 times, but for finding area, we are multiplying side 2 times. So 4 times and 2 times, but the first operation was just addition, but adding 4 times, I'm writing 4 into side, but multiplying two sides will give you side square. So I hope you are clear with the area and perimeter formula of square also. Now moving to the next two-dimensional object, which is a rectangle. So again, it's easy, very easy. So if you see here, all four sides are not equal. They are equal in pairs, means two lengths are equal and two breadths are equal. So when we add all the four sides, I'll get two lengths and two breadths. So if you take two common, the formula will be 2 times length plus breadth. So even if you apply the distributive law and separate it, it will be 2 times length plus 2 times breadth. So you can simply write 2 into L plus B. This is the formula for perimeter. That means boundary length. Now we'll move to the next formula, which is area, which is this blue region again. So it is simply length into breadth, because in square it was side square because all four sides were equal, but here one is length and other is breadth. So the formula is length into breadth. So I hope you are clear with the all 6 formulae: 2 for triangle, 1 for perimeter, 1 for area, 2 for square, and 2 for rectangles. So let's see the application of this formula in the numerical problems. So starting with the first problem of your exercise, first read the question. The question says a square and a rectangle field. Again, it's a field, means farmland, you can say, with the measurements as given in the figure. So what are the measurements given in the figure? The first shape is of a square having side 60 meter. So obviously each and every side will be 60 meter. All four sides will be of 60 meter. And the second field is of rectangular shape. But if you see, only the length, means the bigger side, is given as 80 meter. That is nothing but the length. But the smaller side, which is breadth, is not known to you. Okay. So now let's see what else is given. Have the same perimeter, means both the square and rectangle having same boundary length, means perimeter of square is equal to perimeter of rectangle. Okay. So we have written this data in this manner. Perimeter of square is equal to perimeter of rectangle. But if you see the question, what is asked? Find out which field has larger area. Means data is given about the perimeter, but question is asked about the area. So obviously we should know the formula of their areas. So obviously we know, we have studied just now, that area of square and area of rectangle. So area of square is nothing but side square. So for that, the data is already known that side is 60 meter. So perimeter of square can also be calculated by using 4 into side, and area of square can also be calculated by using side square. But now the question is, can I find the area of rectangle? Okay. For area of rectangle, if you see here, only length is known, which is 80 meter, but is breadth given to you? No. So the first task is to find the breadth. Obviously, without finding the breadth, I can't find the area of rectangle. So let's see how to find the breadth. So for that, obviously, we will use the given data, which is perimeter of square is equal to perimeter of rectangle. So now putting the formula, for perimeter of square, we have the formula as 4 into side. And for perimeter of rectangle, it is 2 times length plus breadth. Okay. So if you substitute the values, the side of square as 60 meter and length of the rectangle is given as 80, but breadth is not known. So we'll keep it as B only. So now the first task is to find the value of B. So simply solving this equation, if you further simplify this, 60 into 4, 240, and this 2 will come here and divide 240. So I'll get 80 plus B on the right hand side. So in order to find B, first I'll simplify the left hand side, which is coming out to be 120. So 120 is equal to 80 plus B. Now we'll bring this 80 on this side and you'll get subtracted from 120. So answer for B is 40 meter. I hope you are clear with this calculations for finding breadth of the rectangle. But now the question is not just finding the breadth. They have asked to find us the which area is larger. So in order to find which area is larger, we need to find area of square separately and area of rectangle separately, and then we'll compare the values which one is larger. So obviously the area of square field, can anyone tell me the formula? Yes, it's already displayed here. Area of square, which is side square, and we know the side as 60 meter. So the area of square, the calculation will be 60 square, and we know 6 square is 36. So we'll simply put 2 zeros on it. So the area of square will be 3600 and the unit will be meter square, because one side is having unit as meter. So meter into meter will give you unit as meter square. Now let's find the area of another shape, rectangular field. So area of rectangle, as we already studied, the formula is length into breadth. Previously breadth was not known, so we were not able to find the area initially. But now using that perimeter equation, we have already found a value of B, which came out to be 40 meter, and length was given as 80 meter. So the formula for area of rectangle is length into breadth. So 80 into 40. So 8 fours are 32, and that will put 2 zeros on it. So the area of rectangle will become 3200, and obviously the unit will be meter square. Okay. So now after finding both the areas, now is it easy to compare and tell which area is larger? Obviously, you can see 3600 is greater than 3200. So obviously area of square field is larger compared to area of rectangle. I hope everybody has understood this question. It's very easy. It's just application of two formulae, one for perimeter of square and perimeter of rectangle, and then using that we are finding the area of square and area of rectangle. Okay, so perimeter and area, because it's just a two-dimensional objects. Now we'll move to the next question. Any doubts? Can I proceed further? Yes, that's great. Let's continue. If you see the next question from your exercise, let's read it first. The question says Mrs. Kaushik has a square plot. Again, it's a land or a plot with measurements as shown in the figure. So if you see the figure, the plot is of square shape and side is 25 meters. That means all four sides are 25 meters. She wants to construct a house in the middle of the plot. Means obviously she is not constructing the house on the entire square plot. She will be utilizing some of the area out of the square plot to construct her house, but in the middle. And that area is already given, which is rectangle of 20 meter and 20 meter length and 15 meter breadth. Okay, so now the question is, a garden is developed around the house. Means after constructing this house, she wants to develop a garden around this house. That means only, if you see this green shaded portion is nothing but the garden area. But the question is not find to just not to find the garden area. The question says find the total cost of developing a garden around the house at the rate of 55 per meter square. As I gave you one example, if you remember, I just gave you example of painting your house. So there is a rate of painting per meter square. The likewise here, there is also a rate for developing a garden, and that rate is 55 per meter square. So obviously, in order to get the cost, what I need to do is cost of developing a garden will be equal to rate जो भी rate दिया है per meter square multiplied by the area of garden. Okay, so now the rate is already given in the question, which is 55 meter per meter square. Okay, but area of garden is not given directly. So first the task is to find the area of garden. Okay, obviously, can anyone tell me how will you find the area of garden? Because the dimensions, the two shapes which are given, one is square, which is the entire plot of 25 meter side, and the other area is given for constructing the house, which is of a rectangle of size 20 meter length and 50 meter breadth, and the remaining area will be a garden. So can anyone tell me how to find the area of garden? Great. It's obviously, it will be area of garden is equal to area of plot, that means entire square plot, minus area used for constructing the house. So you can call it as base area of house. Okay, so now my aim is to first find the area of garden, and after finding this you can multiply it by rate to get the cost of developing. Okay, so let's continue. So how will you find area of garden first? So first, area of plot, that means the square plot is formula of area of square, which is side square, and each side is 25 meters. So it's very easy to find the area of square plot. So it will be 25 square, and 25 square, if you know the short trick, whenever we have a 5 in the unit place, we use 5 5s are 25 and 2 3s are 6, that is 625. Means even if you don't remember the direct square of 25, you can use that trick. Okay, so the area of square plot is 625 meters square. Now the base area of house, so obviously house is constructed on a rectangular plot of 20 meter length and 50 meter breadth. So I'll use the area of rectangle, which is length into breadth. So putting length as 20 and breadth as 15, I'll get 20 into 15, means 15 twos are 30 and one more zero above it. So that area will be 300 meters square. So obviously the garden is developed around the house in the remaining plot. So area of total plot minus base area of house, that will give me 625 minus 300, which is 325, right? 325 meters square. But you are not just asked to find the area of garden, but we are asked to find the cost of developing a garden at the rate of 55 per meter square. So that means for developing 1 meter square garden, the cost is rupees 55. So how much total cost is required to develop the garden of 325 meters square? So obviously, for finding the cost, we will multiply the rate per meter square by area of garden, and area of garden we just now found as 325. So cost of developing a garden becomes the rate, which is 55, and area of garden is 325. So just doing this calculation, you have to do it separately. So you know how to do it. You'll first multiply by 5 to the each term, and you'll get this as the answer. Again multiplying by 5, just putting a 0 here, and you will copy the same number 61625 here, and now you will add it. So the total cost comes out to be 17,875 rupees. So your final answer is cost of developing a garden is rupees 17,875. Is it okay? So here we are not just finding the area, we are also finding the cost by multiplying by rate per meter square. So have you got the clear idea how to find the total cost? It can be another question of this type, as I told, in case of painting of a wall. Okay, there also rate will be given, and you will be asked to find the cost of painting. Okay, so I hope everything is clear to you. Any doubts, anyone?